Hi everyone! In this episode of our Outfit Studio tutorial series, we are going to create a simple mashup. If you don't know the terminology, a mashup is what we call it when we take pieces from several different outfits and combine them into a brand new outfit. I love making mashups, so I'm hoping you'll find this to be a fun activity too. If you want to follow along, download and install the Simply for Practice mod that I made as a companion to this tutorial series. The link is in the description. Here are the steps we are going to follow. I want to call your attention to step number 10 in particular. If you do not make the required fixes in NifSkope, this mashup will crash your game when you try to put it on. But please don't let that deter you, because we will fix the problem right here in this video. This is a long start-to-finish project that is aimed at beginners. However, I'm going to assume that you have watched all the previous episodes or already know the basics of Outfit Studio. I'll be going a little faster and not showing everything in real time. If you have completed all the episodes so far, you should be prepared for this one. If you are new, need a refresher, or get lost at any point, please check out the previous tutorials as needed. I have called this a simple mashup for two reasons. First, I've already prepared the pieces we're going to combine. More on that in a minute. Second, and more importantly, as long as you don't move any meshes from their original position, and you aren't changing the body type, like replacing UNP with CBBE, for example, then you don't have to redo any weight painting. You can simply load in meshes, adjust them using the Inflate and Deflate tools or the Transform tool, and export the new outfit. Although I have already done this step to make things easier for the tutorial, let's spend a couple of minutes discussing what needs to be done in order to create a mashup from scratch. First, you'll have to decide which main outfit you want to use as the base. This will generally be a NIF that contains the body and has some mesh or meshes that cover the torso. Next, you'll need to find and/or prepare all the meshes you want to put on top of the main outfit. This is easiest if you choose accessory items that are already standalone meshes. But you can take bits off of other outfits, isolating them into individual meshes to add to your mashup. This is also easy to do if the parts you want can be selected cleanly using the Smart Select A and D keys. But if the mesh you want can't be smart selected because it's linked to the rest of the mesh in an inconvenient way, it will take some work to isolate it. It can be done, and we'll talk more about this in later videos. The last thing to note here is that you can just make one size of your mashup and use a slider or BodySlide to convert it to the other size. But I want to show you the long way because sometimes this just works better. So you're going to need all of the pieces for both size 0 and size 1, and they must all have the same vertices. If you are isolating meshes from other outfits, I strongly suggest using the saved mask technique shown in video number 12 to make sure you isolate exactly the same vertices for both sizes of the mesh. Up till now, we have only worked on one size in Outfit Studio at a time. But today, we're going to start by loading in all the pieces of both sizes. This will help you understand why I go through the hassle of naming and renaming meshes for saving masks. It's because you can't have two meshes with the same name in Outfit Studio, even though that is a major requirement for applying a saved mask. I'm going to use the top NIF from the demo mod as the outfit base. So let's drag and drop both the top_0 and top_1 NIFs into Outfit Studio. We are also going to use the long pants in our mashup. If you have been doing all the tutorials with me, then you'll want to bring over the size 0 and size 1 long pants NIFs. But if you are new or have not made the shorts as shown in video number 12, then just bring in the pants meshes from here. Next, open the Mashup folder, then the Pieces folder, and drag both sizes of the belt, coat, and steel NIFs into Outfit Studio. There are some meshes here that we don't need because they are completely hidden by other meshes, namely the panties and the leg band. So let's go ahead and delete those. That will save us a little time and make our mesh list a bit more manageable. For our demo mashup, we need all the meshes to have the 32 body partition because that's how the ESP is already set up. I will remind you that we should not change partitions unless we know that the NIF will still match its armor and armor add-on records in the plugin. And you can refer to video number 13 of this series for more on that. Go through the mesh pieces and change any that are not already set to the 32 body partition, as we've done before in video number 14. The pants will need to be changed. Just click down here on Type and select 32 body from the list, then hit Apply. When you get to the size 0 coat, you'll see that it has the body partition listed twice. We don't need that, so let's fix it. Right-click on the bottom partition and select Delete Partition. Outfit Studio will automatically move those vertices to the other existing partition. Hit Apply before clicking back on the Meshes tab. For the size 1 coat, you'll see that it's already been fixed, so we don't need to do anything there. But a quick note, it actually doesn't matter which of the duplicate partitions are deleted from the size 0 coat that we did, because it works fine either way. But I generally try to do everything exactly the same for both sizes of a mesh just to be safe. Finish up checking the partitions for the rest of the meshes. Ours are all fine for this example, so we are done with this step. Remember that it's a good idea to delete vertices that will never be seen. It helps prevent clipping and it minimizes the file size. We are going to use this saved mask technique on several meshes in this outfit to make sure we delete exactly the same vertices in both sizes of the mesh. Please refer back to video number 12 if you have any trouble during this step. Let's focus on the size 0 meshes first, so I'm going to hide all of the size 1 shapes. In this demo mashup, I'm going to delete vertices from the body, the belt, and the steel meshes. So let's give those more generic names. We can select the mesh and hit the F2 shortcut key to do this. Now let's start with the body and mask the vertices we want to delete. Like in video number 14, remember to leave 2 to 3 rows of vertices where the visible parts of the body meet the outfit so that you don't end up with invisible gaps. Once you are done masking, invert the mask, save it with a relevant name, and then delete the vertices. Repeat the process for the belt and steel meshes. I'm sure you've noticed that I'm not showing this in real time, but that does not mean you should feel obligated to rush through this step. Pause here and give yourself however much time you need. It's not a race, and it doesn't matter how fast or how slow you are. So just work at your own pace and enjoy practicing with the tools. After completing the size 0 meshes, rename them back to their original names. Then hide all the size 0 meshes and make all the size 1 meshes visible. To be able to apply our saved masks, we have to rename the size 1 body, belt, and steel meshes to the generic name we used to save the masks. I'm using the F2 shortcut key again to make this quicker. Then select each mesh one at a time, apply the relevant mask, delete the vertices, clear the masking, and rename it back to the original. After you're done with a mesh, be sure to clear the masking from it by using the shortcut keys or the option in the Tools menu. If you don't, then the masked vertices will be hidden from any other changes you might want to make. Pause the video here to give yourself time to complete this step. Once you are done zapping all the vertices you want gone from both sizes of all the meshes, it's time to move to the next step. When I am working on a more complex mesh or outfit, I like to export the NIF a few times along the way so I don't lose anything if Outfit Studio crashes, which it sometimes does. So let's export both sizes of our zapped meshes. Select all the size 0 meshes on the right, it's fine if they are still hidden, and export them. I'm going to put this NIF into the Mashup folder and call it new mashup _0_temp. Then select only the size 1 meshes and do the same thing. You may want to have the Mashup folder open in Windows Explorer over here next to your Outfit Studio window so you can see and confirm that the export was successful. With the zapped meshes for both sizes now safely exported, you can breathe a sigh of relief. You can either continue on from here or take a break and just load the zapped size 0 file back in whenever you are ready to continue. The next step is to adjust these meshes so they layer nicely on top of each other. For this simple mashup, don't move anything around. We will just inflate and deflate instead. Generally speaking, you'll want to deflate the inside layers and then tidy up by using the Inflate tool on the outside layers if needed. If the brush is warping the mesh, you can hold it still over the vertices and click instead of dragging. You can tell if a vertex is targeted because it will turn light blue. You can also change the strength of the brush if you need more oomph. Be careful around the edges of where meshes meet. You want them close so there isn't a gap, but not so close that they clip. You can make the brush very small and/or tweak individual vertices if needed. If you decide to delete any more vertices, you might want to save a mask so you can delete exactly the same ones on the size 1 meshes. I'm going to get rid of this knee plate, but that's actually easy enough to isolate with Smart Select, so I don't really need to use a saved mask. You can use the masking tool to hide some vertices from being affected. And you might need to toggle the Mirror Edits button on and off depending on your meshes. I mentioned that Outfit Studio sometimes crashes. Occasionally, I get an error message like this. I don't know why or how to prevent it, and this is one reason why I recommend exporting temporary NIFs along the way. If this happens, just take a deep breath, launch Outfit Studio again, reload the last version of the NIF that you have, and get back to work. Work your way through the different mesh pieces, swapping between the deflate and inflate tools as needed until everything fits well together. You can really smush in the underneath parts because they will never be seen. I usually try to preserve the shape of the outermost item as much as I can and mostly tweak the inner meshes as needed. As in the previous step, I'm not showing you this in real time because that would take forever. So pause and take your time working with the meshes. It's better to go slow and practice the techniques than to rush through it quickly. Once you have adjusted all of the size 0 meshes so they are layered nicely, with nothing poking through anything else, then you are ready to move on to the next step. Now that we have all the meshes sitting nicely together, it's time to export the final size 0 version of our new outfit. Select all the size 0 meshes and export them as a new NIF. I'm going to put this into the Mashup folder again and call it new mashup_0. If you don't already have the size 1 meshes here, load them back into Outfit Studio. You can delete the size 0 meshes if you are finished with those. And if you created any new saved masks, be sure that you apply those now to the size 1 outfit and export the zapped mesh to be safe. Then you can continue from here or take a break and load the size 1 NIF back in later to keep working. Now we'll just repeat the process of inflating and deflating for the size 1 meshes. But first, I'm going to delete this knee plate like I did before, using the Smart Select keys. Then I start deflating meshes as needed. I suggest trying to adjust them roughly the same as you did for the other size. It doesn't have to be exact, but it usually works best if you try to make the adjustments fairly similar between the sizes. As an interesting aside, we could actually make sliders from the original size 0 meshes to the adjusted size 0 meshes and apply them to quickly adjust the size 1 meshes. If you know how to make sliders, feel free to do that now. If not, I'll show you how to do that in a future video, but for now, we're going to do this the long way. I'm showing this in super speed for the sake of time, but I think you get the idea. Alternate between deflating and inflating to tweak the meshes. Mask vertices as needed to hide them from being affected. Toggle wireframes and the mirror edits on and off, and use all the tools at your disposal to make this easier for yourself. Just remember not to delete any more vertices unless you plan to revisit the size 0 NIF to delete exactly the same ones there. Pause the video here until you have finished tweaking all the meshes and are happy with how everything looks. And then export just like we did for size 0. When you are ready to continue, please make sure you do the next step or you will have major problems in the game. Normally, I tell you that this step is optional, but in this case, we have some mandatory fixing to do in NifSkope, or else we're going to crash our game when we try to wear this mashup. If you need help using NifSkope, please refer back to video number 6. Open both sizes of the final NIFs and line the windows up next to each other. For reasons I do not know, there are blocks associated with the belt mesh that got corrupted somewhere along the way. This will crash your game if we don't remove them. Expand the root node called scene root, and then locate the block called scene root :3. Right-click on it, select block, remove branch, and yes at the confirmation window. Next, locate the block called INV marker and do the same thing. Right-click, block, remove branch, and yes. Word of warning here, do not do this indiscriminately to all your NIFs. In our mashup, these blocks are not needed and they have been corrupted, so we are removing them all together. For yet another reason I do not know, Outfit Studio sometimes adds flags to the BS shapes that mess up the textures. And our mashup will look like this in the game if we don't fix those. First, select the belt BS shape. In the lower pane, find the line called Vertex DESC. Right-click on that line, select Vertex Flags, and then Yes at the pop-up window. Untick the boxes for colors and eye data, and then hit Accept. This line should now only say Vertex, UVs, Normals, Tangents, and skinned. If it says anything else, right-click again and tick or untick the vertex flags until yours looks exactly like mine. Then select the Coat BS Tri shape and repeat the process. An important note here, do not change the flags for the body mesh. They are different from the other meshes, and they are supposed to be that way. When you're done making these fixes, save the NIF, overwriting the original. Now repeat the entire process for the other size NIF. First, remove the 2 corrupted blocks. Then fix the vertex flags for the belt, for the coat, save this NIF too, overwriting the original. Now you can complete the optional checks as we've done in previous videos. Rotate the outfit around and make sure it looks okay in each one. Then check the order of all the meshes in each NIF and make sure the size 0 and size 1 files match exactly. If they do not, use the cut and paste method from video number 6 to reorder the blocks as needed. It's also good to compare the vertex count for meshes that we zapped to make sure they match between the 2 sizes. Check this as shown in video number 12, and if any meshes do not match, you'll need to go back into Outfit Studio and redo them. I'll show an example of this really quickly. Bring the size 0 outfit NIF into Outfit Studio. Delete the offending mesh, say it's this belt, and bring in a fresh original version. Change its partition if needed, and then create and save a mask before deleting vertices. Use the Inflate and Deflate tools to tweak the mesh as needed, and then export the new size 0 NIF. Delete all the size 0 meshes, and then bring the size 1 NIF in and repeat the process. Applying the new mask that you saved to delete the same vertices. And export the new size 1 NIF when you are done. And then check both sizes in NifSkope to make sure the vertex count now matches between the 2 sizes. Also, carefully check that the meshes are in exactly the same order for the 2 sized NIFs and reorder any if needed. When everything has been checked and, if needed, fixed, close out the NifSkope windows and close Outfit Studio. Since I have already set up the plugin record for our new mashup, all we have to do is rename our new NIFs so the game will use them. As I've noted before, I like to keep the originals in a folder called Original. Move the original files to that folder, and then rename our new mashup files just like the originals. If you've followed the quick and dirty bonus video as a temporary way to add your own outfit to the game, your files and folders may look a bit different in here. Just rename or move meshes as needed until you have the new mashups we've just made in this main folder and have them named mashup_0 and mashup_1. If you have any trouble with this step or would like to learn more about testing your outfits in Skyrim, please see video number 7 in this tutorial series. And please make sure you have completed the mandatory fixes in NifSkope explained in step 10 of this video before going any farther. If you do not make these fixes, your game will crash when you try to wear the mashup. Once both sizes of the mashup NIFs have been fixed, load up a female character in Skyrim. Then use the console to add Demo Mashup to your inventory. Find the mashup outfit and put it on. Skip right to the troubleshooting section if things look really bizarre. Otherwise, have a look around at yourself to see how it turned out. If you do not use the UNP body in your game, you may have seams or weird skin textures. Just ignore these and focus on the outfit. Open Race menu and see how the outfit weight slides. And then run around and watch how the outfit behaves through various animations and poses. Take note of anything that needs to be fixed. Remember to use the free camera and freeze time to help you identify and, if you want, take screenshots of problems. Although I am not going to take the time to perfect this particular mashup right now, you may want to take it back into Outfit Studio and continue tweaking it for practice. Feel free to do that, or not, as you wish. If your game crashed when you tried to equip the outfit, or if you have black or missing textures, please go straight to step 10 of this video and make the mandatory fixes in NifSkope as shown in that section. Aside from those problems, the two most likely issues you will run into are mismatching mesh orders or mismatching vertices between the size 0 and size 1 NIFs. You can't necessarily diagnose which is the problem just by how it looks in the game, so I suggest checking both size files in NifSkope as per step 10 in this video. Complete those checks and fix anything as needed. So this is a pretty silly mashup that we made here, and it took a long time to make it, but I hope you had fun doing it anyway. If you want to make more mashups, there are additional things we're going to learn in upcoming videos that will help a lot. So don't get frustrated if you have limited success right now. We will get you there. With this project done, we've reached the end of the totally new to this phase. So we're going to start moving a little faster and doing some more complicated things. I hope that you've enjoyed the tutorials so far and that you are feeling ready for the next phase of our adventure. Keep practicing and keep having fun using the techniques and tools that we've covered in the episodes so far. I'm really looking forward to expanding on what we've already done, so I'll see you soon for the next video. Bye!